Well, hello folks, take a little ride here down South 12th Street, neighborhood that really has grown in the last 50 years. Over here on the right, none of this existed 50 years ago. I used to live in the early 80s in this home right here with a little red door. And over here across the street was a big wide open field. There was an old centennial home that sat about right here. It's all been gone, it's all been razed, and that field has been developed into a big subdivision back there. Very nice, very expensive homes. You can see a little bit down there. None of this existed. A couple of homes that were up here by the street on this side. I'll say this side, on the right hand side. On the left hand side over there, there was these homes along here, and then slowly but surely these were built up first, part of Rudgate, and then back on across the street from where I used to live. We're gonna head down south here on 12th from Center Street. Heard there may be a little action down here. Let's see what's going on. Show you the Portage headquarters for the Conch Republic. This little yellow house right here, if we can see it. There it is, right there. Okay. She'll be right back. This corner here used to be a big old farm. Barns, the house, everything. It sat there unused, got dilapidated. Later it was raised, and that whole corner's for sale. That's a hot corner. $1 million property. See across the street, the first subdivision to move out here after we moved out here was Colony Woods right up here. You can see the banner above the Colony Woods sign of all the high school graduates from this year. Just graduated from Portage Public Schools. The opposite corner over here through the light, straight ahead on the left, was another big farm. Going past where they have the new professional offices, into the trees and so forth. Used to have cattle and sheep out here. As you came down 12th Street, they're right there along the road. Hard to believe, right here, cattle and sheep. And right here was where the farmhouse stood, the barns and everything. Then they developed thing down Whippoorwill here. All Colony Woods. They were hit with a tornado through here now just over a year ago, and you can still see the damage along here, tree damage, and the homes are getting things back restored again. A lot of trees knocked down. Yep. This will kind of turn into tunnels over the years. Trees, the branches grow over the street, form these tunnels. Our farm was right up here straight ahead, about 3/4 of a mile. Where I see flashing red and blue lights. The road may be closed ahead. Big tree down there, yeah. A lot of action up here ahead. Be back in a second. Pretty nice place right here. Can't really see it. heck is going on here? All right. I had just seen where somebody's house had burned down here. I don't know. This is our farm right here. Well, it was. Almost 200 acres right here. We'll go up here ahead. Our farm went all the way down to the trees that you see down here on the other side. Yep. It's real windy. Our farm went all the way out here. Just see about 200 acres. This was ours. There were several old tree lines that were planted for windbreaks back in the late 1800s out here. And it took about 50 acres of this land just in tree lines, dividing this property up. Well, when we sold this property, the new owner took all those tree lines out, giving them about 50 more tillable acres. They weren't old growth trees, they weren't natural forests, they were planted as windbreaks. As these ones back here in the rear that you can see straight ahead, that's all planted windbreak. It's all irrigated crops out here. Straight ahead, there's quite a bit of action right there. They showed a house that had burned, but there are several ambulances there and investigators. They have the whole street closed off, all up and down in front of it. It's been like that now for the better part of 2 hours. So, yeah. I can just see on the roof of the house that's between the two bright yellow trucks right there. It's all burned on the left-hand side of that. That must be the home right there. This is Texas Township and Prairie Round Township. Two townships here. If you are over on the side of the street, you see the vehicles there where the home is. That's the city of Portage. Those kids can go to Portage Public Schools, but they're also in the Schoolcraft School District, so they can go to either one. If you live on this side of the street, you're in Schoolcraft all the way. Your parents wanted to pay tuition to have you go to Portage, they could do that, but it's the way it is. We have two townships out here, Texas Township and Prairie Round. Now down there, the Schoolcraft Fire Department is represented down there. Texas Township Fire Department from Texas Corners is represented right there. And the City of Portage Fire Department is represented right there. So 3 different departments. All right, go up here a little closer. I never get too close though. I don't even push the envelope with this kind of thing. Not with telephoto. Yeah, it's Schoolcraft right there. We know where they're going. Right straight back down to the barn. We're gonna head back east here, back to 12th Street. I'll show you a couple of historic homes out here. Now, this place has been back here in this grove for a long time. I never knew who lived there. They didn't have any kids that went to school down in Schoolcraft, so didn't know them. Right up here is an old Centennial farm. Beautiful here today with the sun just right. Beautiful, beautiful old Centennial farm. Of course, these fields right here are now expensive housing. These were all their fields. Up ahead here, we have to watch the traffic. Everybody's been down here at this fire. This too, one time was a big woods. Woods Lake is right back there, behind that multi-million-dollar property. Seriously. Right here is where the old one-room schoolhouse used to be. But it is gone now. Okay, be right back. Before this highway was put through here in the 60s, Romance Road went straight through, and there it is right there. There's an east and a west. Any farms that were over here on the right-hand side, their property was bought by the highway to put 131 through here. Our farm up here was segmented, and there was about 60 acres over here on the state side, which is over here to the left. Of course, it's landlocked. You didn't have to pay taxes on it. All state land. Now it's covered with trees. You can't even tell that this was a big tillable field back there at one time. It's all state land. Okay, where the fire trucks are right over here on our left, I mean our right, coming up. There's even a vehicle that's parked over here alongside the shoulder of the road. I don't think we can see anything from back here very much. Well, the trees are blocking it up. There's a roadkill deer right there. Maybe that's why they stopped. Who knows? Anyways, here was our farm right here. And this all was tillable all the way across into here. Now, back there a little ways, about a quarter of a mile, is a true woods and tree line, old growth, along water back there. And there were Indian encampments there, and there were bent trees back there where the Native Americans used to bend trees, and they would grow in different bent shapes. Some of them they'd use to hang their venison on, to dry, or just to hang them after butchering. But yeah, those trees are back there, and I've seen them with my own eyes many times. We searched around for arrowheads, but people had been back there for years doing that kind of a thing, and we never found an arrowhead back there. But now it's all state land, and all that's gone. Those trees are dead and have fallen years ago. I could take you back and show you where they were at, but the bent trees are gone. Be right back. This intersection here coming up on Shaver Road and 131 has been all reconfigured in the last 2 years. Everything you see here, this Michigan left and everything, all brand new. There were so many people that were killed here over the years. I stopped twice to help. Right in here, there used to be a crossover. Terrible accident one time. I stopped and helped. A lot. Semi-accidents through here. Semis going straight into cars trying to cross this intersection and plowing them into the ditch up there straight ahead on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. That killed 2 students from Schoolcraft that day. And on and on. You can't make it up. Okay, this, folks, is Perry's Airport. The owners of Perry Harley-Davidson here in Kalamazoo. And one day, Cessna didn't quite get off the ground, went into those treetops right there. It killed a couple of people. Here's some hangars right here. The airport's out there to the west. It's used for mainly ultralights nowadays, but back in the day, there were Cessnas and Pipers coming in and out. There's a grass strip, and that one terrible accident. Along here were old-time homes, Right here was an old farm. Sat right there. It's been raised years ago. Here's a brand new build right here down in the trees. Brand new build. Here's the swamp down here. The conservation officer used to live right down this little road, little 2-track driveway here on the left. Has some shade here. We'll take a look right straight up there. There's where the CO used to live. Back up in there. A friend of mine lived here in this old farm. Old barns are gone. Silos there. The barns are gone. Yep. And these fields here were also our neighbors to our south. None of these homes were built here on the right-hand side. These all came along in the middle and late 70s. All except for this brick house that sits here on the left all by itself. And then a couple of these homes right up here. Anything else was certainly not here. It's like they're breaking things up. Another fire truck. Texas Township there. Over here to the right and the left was our farm. Both sides of the road. Of course, the new property owner has irrigation out here now. The road may be open. Little farmstead that's right here on the left was privately owned by Gene Shear and his family. And a couple of the barns are gone now, older barns. But yes, we owned everything around it. Gene had his God's little acre right there. Great guy. Love the Shears. I don't know if I can get around this or not. Pull up here as close as I can. Looks like they're still blocking everything off. A little zoom here. A lot of action down there in the house with ambulances and things. I'm going to turn around right here. There may be fatalities. Now, right here on this property sat an old centennial 2-story brick farmhouse. A big old barn right here and a couple of outbuildings. Bill Mills and Alva, his wife, this was their farm. And when my parents bought this property, that farm came with it. And Mr. Mills, he was in his middle 80s, they both were. And they were worried about if the rent was going to go up and so forth and so on. And my parents looked at one another and they told the Mills that their days of paying rent and other things were over. And they were dear friends of ours till the day that they both left this earth, went back to heaven with the Lord. And the house sat there. It was vacant for a while. A relative of mine lived there with his family for a period of time, and the house just became just too untenable. It was just too old. I checked into having it actually gone through the whole house, and it just wasn't worth it. It was too far gone. And so it was raised. The barns were dismantled and sold. Pretty cool old place. I believe it was built in 1865. The 1862 or 1865. The only other brick home than that one I showed you a few minutes ago down there on S Avenue, and then the other one is right up here. I'll show you. Be right back. The old Bill, he raised rabbits, chickens, cows. He had all kinds of things going there. A big garden, a wonderful garden, and fresh eggs, fresh rabbits. Yep, he had it going. He's a good guy. Old farmer. Here's the other brick farmhouse right here on the corner. U Avenue and 12th Street. This was the old Ballinger farm. My father-in-law was born in this house. This is a Schoolcraft veterinary clinic. Okay, this used to be fields with horses in them. Because this home right here was where Dr. Sauer, Jack Sauer, our vet, this was his home where he raised his family, he and his wife. This was their clinic right there. Pretty cool. Be right back. Over on this corner, the white old farmhouse was a Burson egg farm. That was the Burson family that owned that. The old silo back here, covered with vines. Yep, big old long buildings in there, raising the hens and the layers and all the eggs out of there. This opposite corner here was woods. You can see right here, at one time, this road went straight through and then curved around, went back that way. They reconfigured it. A lot of death right here. I mentioned before, this is something else. I was riding along here one day, 1978, in a 74 El Camino. Right back there was going 85 miles an hour at night. And a big doe jumped right out in front of me, and I nailed her. And we just made it up this exit right here into this rest area. Totaled my car. Something else been hit right here. Yuck. Yeah, spidered my windshield, buckled the whole hood of that steel car all up. My bumper, forced the radiator and the pump and everything, the fan into the front of my engine. It totaled my car. Yup, there I sat. A Portage police officer came by. Somebody must have called. We didn't have cell phones back then. And pulled in there. He says, man, there is a mess back there on the road. Turned out it was two does. One was in front of the other, and I nailed both of them. They were side by side, full-size animals. Yeah. He gave us a ride up to my apartment. Yep. And that was that. End of the El Camino. Okay, folks, as I approach my exit here, deciding if I'm going to go to Detroit or Chicago. Detroit today. Thanks for watching. Please hit that notification bell and subscribe. Edward's Adventures, I appreciate it, each and every one of you. We'll see you in the next one. What the heck, I'll show you what it's like to go to Detroit instead of Chicago. Did we choose the right road? I'm not going to tell you how fast I hung this corner in my Challenger. Not going to go into it. What a beast. What adhesion. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.